freedom. I can't handle this. When freedom brings, answer the call. On your feet, stand up tall. Freedom's on our shoulders. USA! Enemies of freedom. Face the music. Come on, boys, take them down. President Donald Trump knows how to make America great. Deal from strength or get crushed every time.
Hello everybody and welcome to Craig and Mark's Cinema Circus Series 2. I'm calling it Series 2 because there's been a 3-month hiatus. I know everybody's been saying, oh, when's there going to be another episode? Well, prayers have been answered.
Today's the day.
Today is the day.
We're rebooting.
Yeah. Mark's with me. How you doing, Mark?
I'm good. How are you?
Sick. Really sick. See, I thought it would be a good change of pace if Mark introduced the show, but unfortunately, he doesn't feel comfortable. He's not a seasoned vet in this sort of area as I am.
That must be it.
That must be it.
Rustle the cookies.
So we're here today to talk about a real masterpiece, a real epic, a film in the vein of
Lord of the Rings,
Star Wars,
Harry Potter,
all the greats. You may have heard of it, Eragon.
Yeah, Dragon with an E.
It is Dragon with an E. Certainly a favourite film of mine. But first, what's been going on in the last 5 or 6 months? Wait, 4 months since our last show. What's happened? Christmas,
New Year's. We were going to talk about Christmas episode, that didn't happen.
Oh yeah. Well, and we were going to talk about the Ewok film, which we didn't go to.
Oh, Caravan of Courage. Yeah, we didn't do that.
Yeah.
We can do that anytime. It's not.
We were going to review Supernova. That didn't happen.
No. Well, the thing is, a lot of the time we go to start something. We'll say we're going to do a podcast. We're going to record this, and we just end up like hungover or like ill.
Or in my case, busy.
Yeah.
Oh, why are you busy? I'll tell you. Bloody started volunteering at the zoo, didn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've had that on my mind. I'm trying to save the world.
One meerkat at a time.
One meerkat at a time. And then, of course, there was Christmas. There was the election. Oh, Donald Trump. It's not good, is it?
I don't think we can get into that.
Yeah, we can.
That's all we'll talk about.
No, just come on. What has happened the last 2 months? It's been a wild ride already, hasn't it?
The thing is, you can't talk about Trump's happened the last 2 months. You need to stick to what's happened the last, day.
Yeah, and what did happen today? I was off Twitter today. I was working.
I know he's done today. I think he's just had a fallout because of his press conference where he said mental things about uranium and refused to say that he wasn't an anti-Semite.
Wait, what did he say about uranium again?
I had to find that quote. He basically said uranium's nuclear and it's used for some bad stuff. Used for a lot of stuff, also some bad stuff.
It is used for some bad stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't know why he was saying that. What was the context of that?
No idea.
No. I liked the...
He probably just started.
I liked the press conference he called where he said he had the most votes in electoral college history. And then was shot down and he went, well, for Republicans, they were like George Bush, and he's like, well, it wasn't my information. I just got it from someone gave it to me.
Yeah, he went like, we had the most votes in history, and someone said, no, he said we've had the most votes since Reagan. And the guy said oh no, Clinton and Obama had more. And he said, I meant Republicans. And someone said, Bush Senior had more. He's like, I just got this information.
Yeah.
In fact, I heard that around somewhere.
It's amazing.
She was like, oh, I knew that. In fact, I've always known it.
Yeah, I mean, it is funny. It is also quite terrifying. But, I've just sort of learnt to just enjoy it now. Because Twitter is a constant source of amusement for me.
Sad.
Yeah.
Fake news.
I like the random use of caps. It's like, honestly, when I used to do it all the time with you is moan about people on Facebook putting statuses where it was clear they had, a vendetta against someone.
They were targeted at someone specific.
Yeah, but they wouldn't say who.
Yeah.
Trump says who, but I mean, he uses all the caps. There's spelling errors sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, it's all about crooked Hillary and the failing New York Times.
Well, I don't know because I can't work out if he's on Hillary's side or not. Because he's not.
No.
Well, not on her side, but I mean, he's kind of sympathised with her when, he won graciously, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, he was kind of like, honestly, she was a great, great competitor. And then,
but he's only saying that because he won.
Why no? But I'm just saying, I mean, it's backtracking an about face on a whim.
Yeah, and he lost the popular vote by, a historical record, so he won't stop going on about the election.
Yeah, did you see the video? I think I showed it to you where it was like the day after he had the newsroom in, and he was like, "This is what I call the sea of love."
Yeah, I call it a sea of love.
And it was like a picture of all the people at the inauguration, which may or may not have been.
It wasn't a lot.
No, it wasn't a lot. But it's certainly been a wild, like I said, a couple of weeks, months, I guess.
I wonder what happened tomorrow with him.
Oh, I don't know.
I think he's going golfing again.
Is he?
Yeah.
In Scotland?
He goes, no, it's just, he criticised Obama a lot for going golfing, and he's been like, I think something out of the 4 weekends he's been president, he's been golfing twice. Which isn't great.
But wasn't he a massive source of fake news the entire election and pre-election? Yeah. It is amazing. He's so self-conscious about like, what people think about him. It's amazing. He's got thinner skin than I have. And you know,
thinner orange skin.
Thinner orange skin. He's a bit like a sort of Dave Dickinson type.
Have you seen Dave Dickinson lately?
No, I saw him in person a few years ago, and it was scary then. I thought I needed to adjust the contrast on my eyes.
Yeah,
so.
I was about to say he's through the pale. That's the wrong thing to say. He is literally the cover of like a fine leather sofa now. It's a deep brown.
At this point,
it's a deep, rich brown.
Doesn't he have to worry for people, hunting him and stuff for like his skin? The same way they hunt crocodiles. Like someone can make a fine pair of shoes out of David at this point.
I can make a fine chair out of him.
What a scary thought. But I was thinking that on the subject of Donald Trump, that his verbiage and the way he addresses people is a lot like the Twitter of one Neil Breen.
Yeah, well, just more like the DVD covers of Neil Breen.
Yeah, just the random use of
stunning desperation.
Desperation, and just the highlighting of certain words for no reason, like
tremendous.
Fantastic. It's going to be excellent. It's really tremendous. You'll love it. He's starting his 5th film.
He is. We're going to finance it.
I was looking at his Wikipedia today, and there is a film that I don't believe we've.
No,
is it I Am Here ... now?
Yes, I've
not seen anything on this one.
You know how none of them have a plot? I think that one is supposed to be like really experimental,
right?
And like high-minded.
It's pretty out there. A lot. It's weird, Neil Breen. It's kind of the most basic, borderline. I don't know, sort of mentally deficient storytelling there is, yet he's got a lot to say.
It's a guy he doesn't understand the language of cinema or humans.
Or people.
Yeah.
No. Do you think his latest film, I'm going to go out on a limb, will be about a man, probably played by Neil Breen, who is an excellent hacker that everybody wants to A, sleep with, B, employ, C, kill because he knows too much, and D, worship possibly might have been brought upon this world by another race.
Like, I think it's going to be about a talented man who is the best, who is also too like beautiful for this world.
Yeah,
because that's what every character. And
there'll be corruption in the government, and
he'll have to bring it down using his secret knowledge.
I was reading his wiki today. I want to know who writes Wikipedias because they're honestly fascinating to me. I like. Because you can I always see bits and pieces on the more obscure Wikipedias from like the rare sort of press footage you found or like interviews on YouTube. You can tell they've been lifted straight out of that his wiki. And one of them said, Neil doesn't like the Hollywood scene and he tries, to... started talking about his misconception that he was an architect at one point. I don't know, it's bizarre.
I thought he wasn't...
No, wait, he wasn't an estate agent, he was an architect.
Yeah, he was an architect. I think but he did do some real estating.
Yeah. I mean, I'm glad he got into cinema because he's brought us some wonderful, wonderful films so far.
We will talk about him someday, but like we need to build up to it.
Well, we might be part of his latest film if my plan comes together.
Yeah.
Basically, Neil's taken to asking for investors, and I thought it'd be a great idea as a fan for him to start a Kickstarter, and in exchange for donations, I'm thinking like £2.
I was going to say more than that.
Well, it depends. Like, I mean, he hasn't set out the parameters. He hasn't even replied. But we'd get a credit on his film.
No, but we don't know that he knows what Kickstarter or GoFundMe are.
No. They might be run by the corrupt government. That's what you've got to realise. So,
he's got to go and bring down Kickstarter.
He might have to.
Yeah.
If there's any cinema outings you've had recently before we start our masterpiece of a film?
No, I haven't been in ages, really. It's bad.
What did you think of Rogue One?
Oh, I loved it.
Yeah?
Yeah. Thought it was great.
How many times have you seen it now?
Just the once.
See, I saw it twice, although if Emma's parents are listening to this, just the once. We saw it with them. And,
Sure.
I was... I think a lot of the criticisms I saw early were that there were a lot of planets, which didn't really bother me. I mean, it wasn't that hard to follow.
Well, the criticisms I heard was that the characters were shallow, and they were. But it was like the action was so good, and everything kind of looked so good.
I don't think the characters were that shallow.
What were their names?
Oh. Eragon is dragging no. Daisy.
No.
It doesn't matter. Darth Vader.
Yeah,
Grand Moff Tarkin.
Fair enough. Director Krennic.
Director Krennic, yeah.
But I only remember because in my head it said in Darth Vader's voice.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not so much. Yeah, right. I don't remember the characters, but I could barely remember 2 days ago.
Yeah,
so I mean, that's not a slight against the film.
And also,
I actually enjoyed the dialogue and like the character. They needed more time to develop the characters, but as we'll see later on in what we discuss, it's hardly the worst offender in that category of underdeveloping characters.
Underdeveloping yet somehow overdeveloping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sort of rushing through the character. I loved it. I thought. It looked excellent. I thought it had quite a good story. I thought it broke new ground and didn't stick to the same old tropes and conventions of the Star Wars films.
It showed a lot of the stuff in the Star Wars universe that I wanted to see.
Like what?
Like, for example, seeing what an attack by the Death Star looks like from the ground is interesting.
Yeah.
Because in the past it's been held around.
Yeah.
It's like, ooh. But like, things like, what does that look like in the ground? Like seeing Stormtroopers be quite capable, seeing Darth Vader be cool.
Well, they managed to
refreshing.
rectify Darth Vader in less time than he was on screen in Revenge of the Sith, which was...
A lot of people had criticism about his little joke, but I really enjoyed it.
No, because he's like that in...
he's always...
If you've ever watched Empire Strikes... Well, of course you have. You've watched Empire Strikes Back and New Hope. Your lack of faith disturbing. He's always quipping in quite a macabre, sinister way.
Yeah.
In Empire Strikes Back, he kills the guy whose apology accepted.
Yeah, it was like, we'd be honoured if you join us for dinner, whatever the line is.
It's not like...
So saying, don't choke on your ambition, is fine.
Yeah, it's not like he said, watch your step, and then pushed him over. That would be great. Ooh.
Smooth move. I'll try spinning. That's a good trick.
Yeah, I thought it was wonderful. I really enjoyed it. The CGI, we'll see how that holds up in terms of
Moff.
Face and Leia.
I'm sure it's fine. Leia looked worse than Moff.
She did. I think I wasn't alarmed until recently we saw some stills from X-Men 3 and Wolverine of a quite terrifying looking Professor X when he's all young.
With his horrible mannequin plastic face.
Is there a term for that? Is it
de-aging?
De-aging process, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see. Rogue One, really good.
Yeah.
Worth checking out. I can't wait for it to come to obviously Amazon Prime or Netflix eventually.
That'll be a while.
Yeah. Oh, and I watched X-Men Apocalypse, and I disagreed with you. I actually quite enjoyed it.
Rubbish.
I thought it was good, good fun fluff.
So boring.
It wasn't.
It was boring.
You seen the Wolverine? That's one we should talk about at some point.
No, do you mean Origins or the Wolverine? You mean Origins?
Origins.
Yeah, because Wolverine is sort of...
I like Origins, where he gets taken in by that family and they proceed to just give him all his dead son's stuff.
I like the bit where he goes in that lab and they give him bad CGI claws.
Oh, that is bad.
They just sort of float around on his hands.
He destroys their sink and probably... I remember that and just thinking, fucking hell, just leave, Logan.
Gets the jacket and the motorbike. God,
yeah. And at the end of the film, I think gets shot in the head so he doesn't remember anything.
So the whole thing
so he just runs away. And it's like, so none of that film had any relevance.
He just sounds good, like, what? And runs off.
Yeah, all his tragic backstory that he doesn't ever get called back to.
Why am I in a collapsed nuclear plant?
Doesn't matter. I got to shoot off anyway.
Bye,
Gambit.
I've got to go be a trucker or something.
Yeah. Well, will.i.am was in it, which... William.
Yeah.
My nemesis.
What was the character's power again?
He was black. I don't know. He had a cowboy hat.
He was a wonderful musician.
He wasn't. That was his talent. He was able to write songs that weren't him just spelling out his name or like lyrics.
He was able to rhyme up with up.
Yeah. Is that what song? When?
Oh god, it's in that one Black Eyed Peas song. I can't remember because it was 10 years ago.
Is that the one where they just spell stuff out rhythmically?
Yeah.
I like that one. That's probably one of my favourites. Buy the album. They're all like that forever.
And then Fergie sings.
Oh yeah, I don't know what happened to her. She had a singles career.
Oh yeah,
London Bridge.
London Bridge.
Yeah,
That's terrible.
that was bad. So, what are we talking
Speaking
about
of
today?
bad,
Yeah. On that note,
we're talking about what year did this come out? 2006, 7?
would you like
Six.
six?
It says 6.
Christmas 2006. I remember going to
Right.
see it at the cinema
What? Okay. Why did you go and see it at the cinema?
because
Was it because the trailers looked
well,
great?
I like watching bad films. I'm actually better at watching bad films than I am talking
No,
about them.
did you like them in 2006? Were you into like bad films sort of thing?
Yeah. Yeah, I was looking, and
Really?
I saw it got 1 star in Empire magazine. I was
Well,
like,
I'll have you know, there was a glowing review on the back of this.
wait. Is it from
It's
The Sun?
close.
Is it the
No.
Mirror?
No. It's from the News of the World,
No longer in existence.
no longer existence, and it just says, a magical ride.
that it is.
Yeah, and I'll,
I always like those sort of vague reviews that don't actually mean anything.
Stunning
At one
desperation.
point you read it and go, magical ride?
yeah.
Wow.
Well, yeah, it's a magical ride, ... So that sentence could be like a magical ride that, like, crashes into a cliff.
My favourite review on the back of the box, I think, I'm sure you've got one because you were discussing Chris Morris, was for Evil Dead 3 Army of Darkness, where it just had 3.5 stars. Pretty good. Something like that. It was great.
No, the reason about Chris Morris was because it was the poster for Four Lions,
Oh, yeah.
where it was like 20 quotes from other places, and he just took out the word funny. So the poster just said funny like 30 times. It's a pretty good idea. Anyway, so Eragon, I'll read out the back of the DVD because, you know, they know how to make it sound good.
Yeah.
Prepare to enter a dazzling world of myth and magic.
Right.
In a kingdom ravaged by darkness and tyranny,
Not really.
one small ray of hope emerges when Eragon, Ed Spiliers?
Dragon with an E.
Yeah. Eragon.
Spears, yeah.
Finds a mysterious blue stone, in inverted commas,
Jelly bean.
that turns out to be the last dragon's egg in existence. From the moment the egg hatches, the fates of Eragon and the dragon Saphira are forever... It doesn't credit Saphira, it doesn't say Rachel Weisz.
I wouldn't. She probably doesn't want a name on it. But after that performance.
It's like, what was the directors? What they do with directors, then they would want to be disowned.
Where they've got us like Matthew Wood or something. I don't know what the term is. There's a certain
name.
Sure. All
We
our
would be-
fans will rush in to Twitter to tell us.
Yeah, we'd remember if it wasn't 11:15 at night. And the dragon Saphira are forever entwined. As they join forces to battle the evil king, Galbatorix.
Galbatorix.
Says here... Oh, no, you're right. Galbatorix. John Malkovich. Packed with non-stop action.
Lies.
Spectacular special effects.
Well, they're alright.
Yeah. And an inspiring story.
No.
About believing in yourself. What?
Don't remember that.
This fantastical adventure will fire up your imagination.
I did want to go to bed and start dreaming of
Yeah.
something that wasn't Eragon, so I suppose that's not a lie.
Well, we spent the whole thing thinking about better films.
Yeah. Well, if you've ever seen, basically, think Star Wars with a dragon, it's basically, if ever you are familiar with the film theory of the journey of the hero, which
Hero's Journey.
Hero's journey, that's it. And there's like certain steps and tropes that these sort of fantasy films, like Star Wars, perfect example. You've got I think it's like the orphaned.
It's like humble beginnings.
Humble beginnings, meeting the mentor, like
Call to action. Deny the call to action.
Yeah, the anti-hero, the tragedy, and that kind of. I haven't got it in front of me, but it's sort of basically that's the rules that Star Wars and every fantasy film after it basically follows.
It's the whole plot of the first Star Wars,
and it's also coincidentally the plot of this. Done rashly, poorly. A film that I think best sums it up when you say. Never has a film felt so rushed and yet so drawn out at the same time.
Yeah, it was like so many things happen, yet nothing happens.
Nothing happens. It's like, now it's time for the scene where he goes to the castle.
Yeah.
2 minutes.
Yeah, now it's time for a flying scene.
Yeah.
Like, moving on.
Speaking of moving on, we probably jump straight in, so I'm not going to go over meticulously scene by scene, but...
I think most films, the idea is to sort of ease you into the world, which Eragon...
Well, we start off with a narration by...
from word one, it's confusing.
From Jeremy Irons. Says about Alice...
it's like...
What's it called? Middle-earth. It's Middle-earth.
Well, this is the thing. I'm looking at Wikipedia and it's like... It's like... You have the... We'll get to it. It starts with like Arya, which is spelled like the Game of Thrones Arya. Princess of Ellesmere. She's trying to protect her stone from a shade named Durza. In a forest near the village of Carvajal in the country of Algeria.
Wait, you reading the book synopsis or the film?
The film.
Right, none of that was explained.
Yeah. Like this, like they just pile words on you all of a sudden.
Yeah, words and
it's like the land of dragons,
terminology,
Galbatorix, and more. What was the name of like the dragon rider who betrayed them? Morzak or something.
Yeah, something. Yeah. Well, we'll just start. So basically, Jeremy Irons we don't have an opening crawl with Jeremy Irons telling us that this once great world, there was a great time when people rode dragons and it was great.
It was so great.
Doesn't sound great. Sounds utterly awful. But then they were betrayed by like a good guy who turned bad. He turned all the wizards against wizards.
Dragon riders.
All the dragon riders against each other.
No, I think
he took over an oppressive rule.
No. He killed them all. Like he just killed all the dragon riders, and then Galbatorix took charge somehow.
Yeah, actually.
Yeah.
That's not explained. And
it's not explained.
There's a princess, I guess our Leia, she's running from the enemy, played by Robert Carlyle.
Yeah.
She's got a stone that looks very much like a giant jelly bean.
A giant blue jelly bean.
And we are introduced to Robert Carlyle. Oh, poor Robert.
Durza?
Desperately trying to make the best of it, Robert Carlyle, as a shade evil sorcerer called Durza. And your Darth Vader, I guess.
He's Darth Vader.
Galbatorix, played by... I mean, the term phoning it in does not describe what John Malkovich is doing in this film.
How long do you think it took him to film
I was thinking that's 5 minutes.
Yeah, like a day maximum.
I think 5 minutes of footage tops. No second takes, nothing.
Like,
at one point, he is asleep and wakes up.
His amazing line of, "I suffer without my stone."
It's impossible to do it justice because it's...
"Do not prolong my suffering."
I suffer without my stone.
Yeah.
Do not prolong my suffering.
And he sits in this tiny room.
Yeah, the great impressive, like, you know, in Star Wars you've got a Death Star, you've got Mount Doom in Lord of the Rings. In this you've just got a hole in a wall with some flame coming out of it.
It's a little room with a nice curtain and a map.
Well, it's got a map. It's amazing. I guess it's like the map of Alastasia or whatever it's called. It looks like it's drawn by an 8-year-old.
Yeah.
But in giant, you know, what's bigger than A0?
Nothing.
This is bigger than A0 paper. What is A0 just infinity?
A0 is a metre by metre.
Well, it's bigger than that. So there's this giant map, like A something. And he's sat there in his room, just doing nothing. There's a lot... It looks nice, this film. But anytime you're in the enemy territory, it is just a dark room with perhaps, like, a spike in the corner.
Yeah, there'd be like a fire...
And some shadow.
There'd be a fire pit.
Yeah.
And everywhere's dark to hide...
the lack of effort that's gone
and like the papier-mâché on the wall.
Yeah.
But which is like, you know, like, they tried. They just didn't have any money.
What? You say that? A lot of money was spent on the visual effects.
Yeah, but mainly on the dragon.
True. We'll get to that. So Galbatorix sends Robert Carlyle, Durza, off to find this stone. He ambushes
Arya,
yeah, thank you, in the wood. Have you mentioned that there's a lot of names just thrown at you that you've got to try and remember?
It's a total word salad. There are so many moments where they would just name drop like a location or a person or an organisation.
With no exposition and no follow-up.
Or like a whole other language.
Yeah.
And there's no context for any of it.
Yeah.
Like Star Wars is Empire, Luke.
A couple of
Jedi.
planets, but you own... The thing is in Star Wars is like, when they do mention planets... it's usually there is some follow-up or reason for doing it. In this, it's just kind of, quick, pile that in.
Yeah.
We'll get to that later in this sequel that we haven't had or never will.
We'll explain it in the rest of the trilogy,
yeah.
which there will never be.
So, anyway, the Princess Leia type character is ambushed by Durza. She transports the egg away just before being captured, and the egg is found at the last minute by our charismatic young hero... dragon with an E. Yeah. He's called Eragon.
Did this actor ever go to do anything else?
Well, it's funny you should say this. So, far be it from me to tangent again, but do you remember around this time a very similar film came out called Stormbreaker?
It's not him. It's not him.
No. It's similar in that it's the same sort of themes. He's like a child of destiny, but he's an orphan. fights an evil tyranno. It's like basically a mini James Bond.
Yeah.
And it had a guy called Alex Pettifer, I think, went on to do Magic Mike and some other stuff.
Yeah, he's still acting a bit.
Edward Spears, I think he is, or was in Downton Abbey.
Yeah.
Was popular, isn't it? So
Yeah.
he has gone on to do some other stuff, but basically there were two of these types of films. They both flopped at the box office by commercial standards, and they both kind of...
So I respect the desire to look for a new Mark Hamill. Because that's clearly what they're doing. It's like we need another, like...
With the blue-eyed,
blonde-haired hero who, like, teens can get behind.
You know, in, like, Star Wars, how everyone said Luke was quite annoying in the first film, and to be fair, he is very wet, but it's still, like, you know, you kind of root for him in the end.
Yeah, because Mark Hamill's a good actor.
Yeah, and he makes the best of it. Not once am I rooting for Eragon in this film.
Well, it's like the first thing we see him do is he's...
Well, you could describe this, because I want to get through this first scene.
Well, it's just... he sneaks out of his house to go hunting.
Why? Why is he sneaking out?
I don't know, he's just... maybe there's rules about poaching in this land because of the evil king. That's all I can think of. And the way he hunts it, he gets about, I'd say, a foot from a deer.
Right.
Tries to shoot it with an arrow, misses, and then the deer sort of explodes and turns into the egg.
Yeah.
Which I've never understood.
I love this. We're jumping ahead, so we cut to the next day. Young Eragon is in the village in this horrible oppressed world where it all looks kind of pleasant and quite nice.
It's quite sunny.
Yeah, it's quite sunny. Everyone's kind of flourishing. He's referred to as the poor farm boy while he's dressed in like a leather vest.
Yeah. And they're living
some nice linen. His farm, which we see later on, is like perfectly flourishing. But he wants to trade this brand new magic, obviously magic, because it exploded in magic dust before he picked it up.
Yeah.
For some lamb.
Yeah.
He wants a roast dinner, so he's trying to transfer the butcher. He's kind of like, get out of here, this is trouble. Don't tell anyone you were here. Get out.
Well, he didn't get his deer, so...
Yeah. And then on his way home, we're introduced to Brom, played by... I don't know if he's trying or not, Jeremy Irons.
He's not trying.
No?
I think he was probably burned a bit by the Dungeons and Dragons film.
I forgot that film existed.
Everyone did. It's pretty bad.
So he thought he'd try another dragon film.
Yeah, I know.
And I like Jeremy Irons.
I do as well.
The voice of Westminster Abbey, did you know that?
Yeah, I call him Jeremy John.
Oh, that's
very much an in-joke, we won't explain it.
It's an in-joke in that you find it funny. I'm just
do.
like, So anyway, moving on. Probably edit that out, Mark.
No, we won't.
Yeah, I won't.
Leave it in. It's all gold.
So the rebellious Brom, he talks down to the guards. They proceed to humble him, but in a way I think we're supposed to root for him anyway.
I think he's
Eragon's clearly like... Because if there's one thing this Edward Spears... Can you find out his name? Because we're going to have to say it a lot. Spears. He does a wide-eyed sort of look a lot of the time.
Well, we're supposed to think that Brom is like the sort of down-and-out, like, village drunk. Like, oh, no one takes him seriously.
Yeah.
He's a bit... You know, he's down as luck. We're supposed to pity him, but I just don't really care.
He's supposed to look sort of, I guess, unkempt, even though he sort of looks like, you know, if he doesn't look unkempt.
He looks sort of grizzled and cool.
Yeah, he does look grizzled and cool. So anyway, yeah, he returns home. Eragon, therefore, meets his brother, where they inexplicably run into the barn and start frolicking around the hay.
I think it's his cousin.
Oh, is it his cousin?
But that doesn't make it any less homoerotic.
Well, they kind of, like, have a bit of banter. He's like, oh, you hunter, you didn't bring any back. And he's like, shut up.
Let's have a sword fight. And they kind of like, I can't do it because we're on like radio technically, but they have a little joust. Then they just start kind of tussling in the hay. Sort of rolling the hay.
It's a bit like women in love, I guess. And then the uncle's like, oh, come on, boys, get up. We've got farming to do. It's really hard up here in the beautiful sun and flourishing crops.
Come on, everything's sprouting.
Yeah. And then, well, jumping ahead, it doesn't stay like this for long. The cousin is off to leave. He doesn't say where. He doesn't know where he's going.
I think what's happening is, like, in this world, like, boys reach a certain age and they're seized and made to join the army.
Oh, yeah, because you see that scene where he's like, not my son!
Yeah. The people go, they never come back.
They're in the army for life, so they won't come back.
And this village sucks.
Yeah.
So I think he's like, he's like, I've got to go, I've got to run away. I guess they're going to, like, build him up, maybe, like...
Well, you see, there's a rebellion called the Varden. This is really difficult to keep track of, guys, because there's a lot of rebellions and stuff which kind of are mentioned in passing.
Yeah.
Just think of it as like he's off to join the rebels. He doesn't know where they are.
Is he? I thought he was just wandering off.
No, well, yeah. I don't fucking know. Really don't know. So he's off.
It doesn't matter.
He's leaving his sort of like, I guess, grizzled uncle, the Uncle Ben character, with Luke.
Yeah.
Shit starts to happen. The egg hatches.
Just all of a sudden.
Yeah, the egg just kind of hatches and it's a dragon, but a baby dragon.
Yeah. And then there's like 3 scenes.
Guess that takes care of our rat problem. Splurges Eragon. Yeah.
And then there's 3 scenes of people like the dragon, like the
He keeps going into town for no reason.
Well, it's like the egg hatches and he touches it, and then like there's a flash of light, and Jeremy Irons goes, and then John Malkovich goes, and then the woman goes.
Oh yeah, the woman is currently captured in Durza, who's Robert Carlyle. Dungeon. She's not tied to anything. She's just kind of led on the table, kind of like
in like his castle made of like dirty Lego.
Yeah, it looks. They keep
a
cutting
giant
the exterior
square.
shots. It looks like a bread bin with a flame.
Just dusty.
So Eragon's running back into town. Keeps seeing Brom. He's like, "Is it true? The tale of dragon riders?" Because Brom is sort of reminiscing about the great times when people would ride around on fire-breathing lizards, and it was amazing. Yeah. Not this time of oppression now, where there's not really any oppression.
Yeah, there's just like there's like a soldier standing over there.
Yeah, it's quite literally.
I'm so oppressed.
It's like the Life of Brian, where the Roman soldiers stood around, just not really doing anything wrong or oppressive,
sort of looking at you and smiling.
Yeah. But oh no! When the egg hatches, Durza finds out that the egg's hatched. He sends
He sends the Razak.
The rat. Who are the Razak? We don't know because you don't really see them.
They're basically the ring wraiths.
Yeah, straight out the Lord of the Rings, like leftover shop.
Yeah.
Out they come to find the egg.
They go and kill the butcher,
who tells them, "No, wait, you're missing a scene." So Eragon goes and finds this book, which Brom's got in his room, and Brom's like, "Get out!"
No, that's later.
No, because then Eragon is trying to... This is great podcasting. Tries to fly the dragon. It's like, come on!
Yeah, no, that scene with Brom is after all that.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is, because that's when he says that I've sent them away.
Sent who away?
Eragon, the dragon.
No, because the dragon comes back as Rachel Weisz. Basically, the dragon goes flying. It's amazing. So he tries to get the dragon to fly, and it just flies away. And he's like, oh no, my journey's over. I'll go back to farming.
He just looks like a child who's let go of a balloon. It just floats away.
But then the dragon comes back with a new trait.
Mind-reading powers and... a voice by Rachel Weisz, and it's a lot bigger because the film has to happen, and we can't be bothered to wait for the dragon to grow.
No, this is what we mean about this film. There's a lot of... This is the bit of the film where the dragon will hatch, but we don't really want to devote any time to it, so it will just kind of just happen.
Yeah. So we need a big dragon now. Okay.
It would be the equivalent of, in Star Wars, if Luke had kind of, I guess, learnt the Force, which is sort of what happens in this film, in the space of 5 minutes.
Before he left Tatooine.
Yeah, if all of a sudden he was a Jedi Knight, that was essentially what would happen.
He's like, I made a lightsaber.
Yeah. So the dragon hatches, it's Rachel Weisz. She stops him from running back to his farm when he realises that the Razak are gonna like sack his farm.
Yeah, which they just do.
And then he finds his uncle passed out in the barn, who's apparently been murdered. He just looks like he's asleep.
It looks like he's had a slip.
Yeah.
He's just lying in the hay.
And then my favourite part of the film happens, where he sends Sophia the dragon. Did we mention the dragon's called Sophia? Saphira sends her away. Jeremy Irons comes up and goes, You're the chosen one?
Don't believe it.
Because he sees Eragon's got like a cinnamon swirl on his hand.
It's an E.
Is it?
Well, this is the thing. It looks like an E, which I thought was for Eragon, but then all the Dragon Riders have an E?
Yeah. So I don't know.
It's almost like I didn't think about it.
But anyway, Jeremy Irons is like, come on boy, we've got to go. And he's like, but they killed my father. He's like, he throws a flaming torch on his dead body and goes, a funeral fit for a king, and then drags him away. Keep this in mind, this great relationship these two have, by the way.
I'm sorry, Eragon, I'll burn your house down.
Doesn't even say sorry, it's like a funeral fit for him. Quips at, shut up, I'm burning your uncle.
Better to ask forgiveness than for permission.
Oh yeah,
his big
line. Says every rapist everywhere.
Yeah, it's really rapey.
They then go off into the woods. You get your classic Lord of the Rings panoramic sort of helicopter type shot. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like in Two Towers where they're running across the field, you've got that shot, but with Brom and Eragon.
This is a really weird point in the film because stuff like they're always in the woods, but it's just a lot of stuff happening, so you completely lose. We just watched it, and I've sort of forgotten the order that things come in.
Yeah,
because you can't visually pick them apart.
Well, this would be the large part of the film where they spend time bonding and he sort of grows as a person and into a warrior and bonds with his dragon. This all happens in the space of about 10 minutes.
Yeah, while Jeremy Irons yells at him.
Jeremy Irons just... like, their bonding is him going, "You're a fool.
Yeah. Protect your dragon.
Protect your dragon.
1 part brave, 3 parts fool."
Yeah, he loves that line.
Yeah, he says that a lot.
The Varden, that's who they're off. They go off to find the rebel base, basically.
Yeah, that's exactly what they're doing.
In this time, he teaches Eragon to... What does he teach him?
Well, do you know there's a bit where they're on the road and they see some villagers being attacked?
This is great.
And Eragon's like, "We got to help them." And Jeremy Irons is like, "No, you can't fight." He goes, "What do you mean I can't fight?" So they just practice fighting?
Yeah, it cuts to a comical scene. Never mind these villagers you expect to save. They're just dead. They get killed off screen.
We'll get back to that.
They have a spot. They have like the lightsaber training session, or like the.
Not even.
If you've seen Highlander, there's a whole like time montage of them in the mountains fighting. It's probably one of the coolest scenes in a very uncool film.
Yeah.
And they have like loads of shots of them training with swords and stuff. In 90 seconds, they train, and Jeremy Irons establishes that you're good, but you need to be better. And that's it. That's training done.
Just like, that's the general life advice, really.
Yeah. It's not even training. It's just, you turn up to the martial arts school, they go, "You've got some skills, but one day it could be me with a knife." End the lesson. Like, what? I paid for this?
You've got a good karate shop, you also need to kick.
Yeah. End of the lesson.
But it's just that like they're fighting a stick, and Jeremy Irons is like, "But but they won't have a stick." Like, why are we fighting a stick?
I like the bit where he kind of falls into Jeremy Irons. Jeremy Irons goes, "Ooh, good."
I sort of felt there was a moment there where it sort of like they're about to kiss.
It's brilliant. Basically, I kind of want to gloss all over this because this is the training bit, but there are some great bits. Like, all of a sudden, do you remember they sort of turn up in a village, like a swamp?
Yeah, it's a little like pier sort of village. It's all built on top of a lake.
And Jeremy Irons, for some reason, starts getting very cagey, going, "Look, go buy some bread.
Yeah, here's some money, go buy some bread.
Don't talk to anyone."
I'll be over here.
Yeah, you don't know what he's off to do.
I'll be over here in plain view.
Yeah, I know. And the great thing is Eragon never buys this bread.
No.
He goes into a fortune teller store, where he meets Joss Stone.
The character Angela.
Yeah, the fortune teller.
It's like, in this world of magical names, it's odd to have Angela.
She proceeds to basically tell him nothing.
Yeah,
then they're attacked. And then Eragon suddenly can do magic stuff.
Did we ever establish what Jeremy Irons was doing?
No.
Like, I sort of had it in my head afterwards that he was buying a dragon saddle. That's the best I could think. That's the best I could think of.
I thought he was off to solicit a prostitute because it was very cagey, and you sort of cuts to him talking to some bold guy outside a shop.
Buy some bread, Eragon. I'm off for a handy.
Yes. Go and do it. Go over there.
Go look at that wall.
Go to the arcades for a bit. I'll be back.
Here's a lemonade, some crisps. I'm going to be in the pub.
They're you have to carry on. They're attacked.
Yeah, but we also get our first sneak peek of the Han Solo. I think he's the Han Solo character.
Oh, yeah, there's a guy in a hood.
Yeah, I'm going to find out his name.
So there's a guy in a hood who's basically your sort of mysterious, enigmatic, I guess, anti-hero. You guess he's anti-hero because he's got a fringe.
Yeah.
Doesn't say much, but he's lurking in the shadows.
Murtagh.
Is that his name?
Murtagh. Murtagh.
Eragon and Brom are attacked.
By Orcs, which are just like men, dirty men.
Dirty men, yeah, they are.
Yeah.
They are just dirty men. And
he shoots a flaming arrow using magic.
yeah, and then it cuts. There's a lot of just randomly ending a scene. So
The scene just stop.
yeah, the scenes just randomly cut and stop.
So he falls unconscious because magic is hard.
Yeah,
And that's how we learn about magic.
you can describe this.
Well, it's like, yeah, it's so basic.
It's like
it's
like so. Basically, at one point, Eragon goes, "What's the word for tree?" And he's like, "Vista" or
I
something.
love how you remember.
I remember Vista, but I think that's branch.
Yes, it is.
And then he's like, and when for no reason, goes, and when a dragon and a man can see as one, that's Svarka's Ven. You're like, thanks very much.
I know it's Ven. I couldn't remember the first word.
But all those seem to do is it's like if you say a word for something in a different language, you could do stuff.
Well, that's
like
because Jim says the word is the magic is the thing is the word. If you can say the word, you can do the thing.
Is that a line of dialogue from the film?
More or less.
Yeah.
He actually does say if you say the word is the thing, which is well, really odd. Oh yeah. So
if I sort of said sofa, the sofa would.
The sofa will come to life and eat your enemy.
Yeah. What if I didn't want it to do that? What if I just wanted to move it across the room?
No.
What does it give you any what if this tree? It's like.
I guess it checks. I don't know.
Because at one point he says
it
a Vista and a branch comes out and eats a man.
Yeah. I guess it detects your intent. Luckily, he learnt the word branch.
This is all assumption. When you try and make logic, it's like, I guess it's because.
Yeah. So Jeremy Irons was buying a saddle, so it's time for Eragon to have a bit of a fly on his dragon.
Yeah.
Because that's a big thing. So jumps off the cliff, flying around. Jeremy Irons is keeping up on his horse.
Yeah.
And getting ahead.
It's actually getting ahead. Is this?
Yeah. He's having to slow down.
I like the bit as well where they're basically trying to avoid being seen. So this dragon is just flying around in plain sight.
Yeah, he's like, go and hide. Okay, and it's like a helicopter taking off.
Yeah. And flying around, just hovering.
Yeah.
Don't get seen, just hover above me.
And then they do that, and then you just see the Razak far away. Just, they're over there.
Oh no, aren't these Argles? The Razak are the Razak are the maggoty men.
Those were the maggoty men. They had knives coming out their wrists.
Oh yeah, that was good.
Yeah. And so they're over there.
So Eragon goes to save Brom. Brom's like, no, just leave me, just get going, because he's a hero.
I want to die.
So Eragon, the hero,
fails utterly.
I mean, you remember that great scene in Star Wars where Luke just crashes his X-Wing after 2 minutes in it? No? Well, that's because it didn't happen. But in this film, Eragon proceeds to crash his dragon and nearly get her killed in seconds.
Yeah, he's like, come on, we're going to get them. I've hit a tree.
Yeah.
Yeah, falls off, has a bit of a sword fight, it's a bit crap.
Yeah.
God, that sword fight's so bad. Do you remember, Jeremy Irons just swinging his sword around, there's a weird bit they both sort of jump.
Yeah, there's a bit where he kind of I guess he uses the sword to, flick him up into the air.
Like tiddlywinks.
You could do that in Tekken.
Yeah.
You do that.
That's when you find out, this is the sword of the man who killed all the
dragons. Oh, yeah, his dragon he's also a dragon rider, but it was killed by a guy called Mars or something.
Yeah, Murray.
Like Mike. Yeah. Mike killed his dragon, so he killed Mike.
Yeah.
While this is going on, there's
dragon.
A lot of scenes of back at Durza's castle, not Galbatorix, Durza, who's a shaved sorcerer played by Robert Carlyle, in the film that I think ended his cinema outings.
Who sometimes has eyebrows and sometimes doesn't.
Yeah. He's got a lovely ginger, long head wig.
Yeah.
He's going around, and you talk about Vader quipping. This guy loves the quip. He's like, congratulations! You've just been promoted, as he kills the lieutenant.
He stabs his henchman in the foot as a motivational technique.
Yeah, and blames him for something that wasn't even anything to do with him.
Imagine trying that in your office. I need you to print this. You stab someone in the foot.
The scanners broke.
Yeah, double-sided.
I wanted you to fix it.
You've just been promoted.
Oh no, HR again.
Yeah.
I like the scene where Robert Carlyle is just reading a giant book in, again, a dark room with nothing in it.
He's keeping, it just looked like a phone book.
Was it Adam said he was doing? Just because the thing is with Durza is he can kind of teleport.
Yeah, a bit.
So why doesn't he just teleport and kill Eragon?
Yeah,
and there's a great bit as well where Galbatorix goes, I want the boy dead, John Malkovich.
Yeah.
And Durza goes, I will kill him before he becomes a man. So he's setting himself a good 4 years there, I think. Because Eragon's about, 16?
Well, the thing is, that's just good, work technique, set yourself a realistic deadline.
Do set yourself
and if you do it earlier, you look good.
And delegate.
But he was
The thing is with Durs was he didn't delegate well.
No,
he wasn't a good people
he
manager.
delegated too much.
He did delegate too much.
So go and kill him. I'll be here reading my book.
Yeah, I know. I was like kind of like that time I wanted some printing done,
Yeah.
and I was too busy like on my phone, and like it didn't get done, and I was like, right now I have to fire you.
Yeah, but the thing is, he does take matters. He takes matters into his own hands because he sets a trap for Eragon by like using Arya, the princess at the start,
Who's just constantly, and it looks very lewd. She's constantly like, oh.
It's sexual, isn't it? The way she's sort of moaning.
She's just kind of sort of, I can't think of the word, like, she's on the cusp of an orgasm for about 20 minutes of screen time.
She's edging.
She is edging.
Yeah, so he sort of uses her to go into Eragon's dream,
Yeah.
where he says like, "Oh, you must save me." So Eragon wakes up and goes, "I must save her,"
Yeah.
even though they've never met.
I really wanted to mention this actually. Like again, Luke was kind of wet and a bit whiny. Harry Potter, he's a bit of a twat, but I mean, hey, you know, kind of didn't hate him. Who's the hero in All the Rings? Like, I guess Frodo. Can get a bit. He whinges a bit. He's a bit like, oh,
Yeah, but
tired.
But Frodo had Sam, and they were great.
Yeah. In this, you've got irrational, annoying, constantly reacting to people in a kind of like I said, irrational way.
Well,
like, it's time for breakfast. I don't have breakfast.
I don't have time for breakfast.
I don't have time for breakfast.
I'm
a great fighter.
I've got to go to Varda.
Have you fought before? No. So Eragon gets a premonition. It's obviously a trap. A woman he's not really ever met before.
No, not really ever. Never. Never met.
He keeps kind of seeing flashes of her in his dreams.
Yeah. But
every time he's tried to fight, he's nearly died.
Yeah. But it's like we said, he's 17 and he thinks he has a chance of maybe having some sex.
Yeah. I mean, she does seem up for it because a lot of the time he sees her, she's kind of like...
So he's going to hop on his dragon and get there.
Yeah.
Even though it's in the complete opposite direction to where they were trying to go.
Yeah.
According to Jeremy Irons.
Yeah. So Jeremy Irons is left behind.
Or so we think.
Don't spoilers. And they go flying hundreds of miles in the other direction, outside the giant bread bin.
Yeah.
Where Durs's castle is.
He just walks in.
He just walks in. Like, now imagine the Death Star scene where they infiltrate and rescue Leia. It's a good 35 minutes, maybe.
It's a whole act of the film.
It's a whole act of the film. He's in the castle and rescue the princess in about 90 seconds.
Yep. Finds her immediately.
It's one of those castles that's just got... It's not hard to work around. Like, what's in there? Is that a kitchen? That's a dungeon.
Yeah. Whereas like, if you walk...
What's in there? Nothing. It's just a dungeon in there.
Like if you walk in, there's the big main circular room with fire pits. The dungeon's on your left.
Yeah.
That's it.
So anything else? Why are all these people hanging around? Were they just like hanging outside the dungeon?
Well, remember they were leading in a load of like men in loincloths.
Oh, at one point there was a few men in loincloths. Yeah, like tied hands being led in for reasons unknown.
Yeah. So, he goes to rescue the princess.
Oh, he tells Saphira to sort of stay out of sight.
Yeah.
As she stands in plain sight.
Like, but I'm a dragon. Like, no, I have to do this myself. I have to look cool for the princess.
Isn't it how he infiltrates the castle? Isn't it? He just wears a hood.
Yeah, he wears a robe.
Yeah.
He just walks in. So, Durza has set trap. He springs it. And now it's time for a cool fight.
Yeah.
Where he swings his sword around a lot. Durza throws things at him.
Well, it's kind of like when Vader throws things using the Force. I mean, Durza's got... Like, Vader kind of just throws boxes at Luke.
Yeah.
That's to kind of, like, taunt him.
Well,
Durza throws blades, and Eragon does a neat little, like, roll.
Yeah, he does a neat little twirl, and, like, someone deflects off his sword that clearly they decided to do in editing.
Yeah.
Because he's just moving, and there's like a twang off his sword. What happens then? Oh yeah, Durza gets the spear.
No, he kind of goes, did you not realise that you had no chance?
Yeah, because it turns out that magic is hard, so
like,
it's sort of draining.
As you die, your dragon... You can hear your dragon because if he dies, the dragon dies. I should have mentioned that earlier. Don't worry, it's not really...
Oh, I think it's just insane, isn't it?
And the blade's hurting towards Eragon. For some reason, he can't dodge this one.
He's very tired.
He is very tired from his magic that he just knows how... Because he just knows how to do magic now.
Yeah.
It's like, again, Luke just knew how to do the Force after 2 minutes.
But it's so weird because he just knows the words. It's somehow intuitive.
Yeah, it's like he wants to unlock the door, so he's just like, oh, blah.
Yeah, he just goes like, oh, What did he say? It was like Menno or something.
I don't know. What's unlocked backwards? Clonk.
Clong, yeah, that'll do. Yeah. So a spear is flying towards Eragon. What's going to happen? Jeremy Irons makes a save.
Yeah. Problem for the save. How did he get there? Well, I thought this. I always found that greatly amusing that he's just there to, like... Could have just pushed him out the way.
Well, yeah,
but he jumps in front.
When you think, like, they're heading to... So let's say, for example, they started in this village. They're heading to Varda, which is in the east. Jeremy Irons said, like, but that evil castle is back in the other direction, so presumably the west.
And surely there's a lot of enemies still following
You
them.
think so?
Yeah.
Well, there is that bit when they were looking at the evil castle where Eragon says, like, we'll wait until nightfall. So I was thinking, like, oh, you know...
And as you astutely pointed out, Brom's horse is really fast.
It's really fast. So it's way faster than a dragon.
He's got fast travel. You know, in like RPG games, you can kind of just move around the map. He just does that.
Just click on the map. Wait for 10 hours.
Yeah. So that happens. So anyway, like all looks lost. We're at our deepest, darkest ebb. But Eragon shoots an arrow and it hits Durza in the head.
But he doesn't die.
Well, you think he dies.
No, are you supposed to think he dies? Is that...
At that point, yeah.
Okay.
They go to escape. The dark, mysterious man in the hood pops up again.
Murtar.
Yeah, they all go flying off. The dragon says, That's it. The dragon goes, I can't carry all three of you. Three of them being Brom.
Yeah. But then she just does.
And Eragon. Presumably the mysterious man just runs away.
Yeah, he does, doesn't he?
He just disappears.
Yeah.
And they all go flying off as she goes, I can't carry you all. And then it just cuts and they're fine.
Yeah, it's like, you got to fly high. It's like, I can't, you're too heavy. And they're like, oh, we got away.
Yeah.
Cool, alright.
Brom's dying. Over the past 48 hours, you see, they've really bonded with all those times that Jeremy Irons just shouted at him. Apparently, he made Jeremy Irons love life again. So, if we could just reiterate their relationship. Separates him from his dead uncle's body.
Burns his house down. Hits him with a stick. Doesn't let him save villagers. Shouts at him. Criticises him.
At every opportunity.
Yeah, for being like...
Eragon disobeys him. In turn, Brom saves him and gets himself killed, mortally wounded.
Yeah.
And this has been a great experience for both of them.
Yeah. But Eragon does try to save him using magic.
And then the woman goes, "You're not strong enough."
Yeah. and then the dragon goes, "Just let him die."
That bit's amazing. Let him die with some pride.
Yeah. But there's that amazing moment when like Eragon tries to heal him, and then Jeremy Irons says, 1 part brave, 3 parts fool. They love callbacks.
They do like their callbacks.
They call back so much.
I just love the idea of me or you dying and me just going to the doctor. Let him die with some pride. Just unplugging the life support.
And then he's just like driving me down the road in my car.
Because they take Jeremy Irons' body on top of the dragon so he can die as like a dragon rider. Yeah, that would be it. Just driving you around the car park.
I'm just like on the roof. It looks so beautiful from up here.
And then just burying you in like a freezer.
Just in a pile of gravel.
Poor Brom gets buried in a big pile of rocks.
Yeah.
That must have taken him ages because it's a giant pile of rocks.
On top of a cliff.
And then they freeze them. Right, we've got to move along here because we'll be here forever.
We're at the end, more or less.
They run into the mysterious man. He offers to help them because the woman's poisoned from Durza. She starts like orgasming on the floor again.
Yeah.
So they go into the mountains, find the Varden really quickly, but so too do the... Excuse me.
You're right. It's not going to be sick.
Yeah. Oh. Well, if I'm going to be sick, you are too, because I could carry 2 of them.
That's true.
So they're off into the mountains. They find the rebels, but would you believe it? They've led the bad guys straight to the rebels.
No, first of all, there's that like confrontation. Jaimon Honsu is there. I don't know what his character is called.
No, I don't.
Something ridiculous.
He's struggling desperately with the English language again.
The thing I don't understand it. He's a good actor.
I think I think the budget was dragon, some costumes,
Jeremy Irons,
and the cast.
What was his name? His name was Ajihad.
Was it?
Yes.
When's that ever said?
I don't know.
I don't remember them saying his name once.
Yeah, but anyway, yeah, so like they see him, they see evil, they see Murtaugh, dark hooded man.
Yeah.
And go like, you're the son of the guy who killed all the riders.
Yeah.
And I think it's supposed to be dramatic.
Yeah, but because we've only spent about a minute with him in screen time.
Yeah, we found out his name a minute previously.
Yeah, and it's like, it's not true, is it? And he goes, yes, it is.
Yeah. A son doesn't choose his father, or something.
They throw him in prison. And now we're at Helm's Deep.
Yeah. Or Minas Tirith, or the Rebel Base.
Yeah. Well, it is essentially Helm's Deep, because in about 2 minutes, the woman's better.
Yeah,
they're all in fancy armour, and it cuts to like shots of them like stood stoically waiting for the battle.
Well, that's because German Hunter said our healers will take care of her, and they did.
Yeah, I like the scene where Durza shows up, and it's the scene out of Two Towers where Sauron. Wait, is it Saruman?
It's Saruman
Talking to all the Uruk-hai.
Yeah.
And the orcs.
Yeah, like to war. That whole bit.
Yeah, they essentially do that. And at one point, like, he's sort of speaking softly to himself, but at the same time to them. And I just kind of thought, were they not like, what's he saying?
What?
Speak up!
I think he said, blessed are...
Yeah. So to battle. It's all very undramatic and unsuspenseful.
Overnight, they've made a suit of armour for the dragon, which they made a practical suit of armour that they're stood in front of. Like, here's your dragon's armour.
Yeah.
Then when the dragon to wearing the armour, it's different.
Yeah.
Like, did they not think there? Like,
no, they didn't. No, they didn't.
That's so basic.
Do you know this was written? The actual book was written, I believe, by someone who was about 16.
I did hear about that, but wasn't he also like mildly autistic?
I don't know, was he?
I think I have heard that.
I think anyone who was involved in this film was
everyone in this film was mildly autistic.
Well, I think Eragon was. His constant look of
yeah.
bewilderment on his face. So the big fight happens. Sophia's kind of using...
There's no drama.
No, it's just like there's a big army. It's kind of like that bit where they look over the walls of Helm's Deep and there's like an endless army.
Yeah.
And then the dragon proceeds to just
kill
set
everyone.
fire to the wall. And you're like, oh, right.
Yeah, but then, oh no, look.
I do like the trope
more.
of, like, you know, the guy, the mysterious man who was like, oh, what did we just say his name was?
Murtaugh.
Yeah, he escapes from prison and saves, like, one of the, like, sergeants, and they give him the little nod, going, you're all right, boy.
You're okay with me.
Yeah. It's supposed to be like, oh, excellent.
Yeah, whereas like he's there like banging on the wall of this jail, like, let me out. So someone breaks in. So he just throws him out through the wall he was just banging on.
I know.
Which makes it look really easy to escape.
And then there's the big dramatic fight with Durza.
Who sort of summons a black magic dragon thing.
They fight. Eragon wins. Let's just go to it.
Yeah, that's
all.
But
they're both kind of mortally wounded, or at least the dragon is. And then we get shots of the aftermath of the battle where presumably they've won. They all look like there's been a great battle, like a great loss. But
this is the thing. It's like the dragon was helping. Then they saw, oh, we're still hugely outnumbered.
Yeah.
Then the dragon got distracted fighting the other dragon.
Yeah.
But they still just sort of won in the background.
Yeah.
Like we never saw that whole battle.
Yeah. I know, it's just over.
It's like we did it. We beat the odds of 100 to 1.
I guess it would be like if they were doing the Battle of Minas Tirith and you saw all the Shelob bits and then you came back and like the battle was over.
Yeah, the one I had in my head there is like they're doing Helm's Deep. Gandalf turns up, has a fight with one Uruk-hai, and meanwhile, those like 8 Rohan people that were left kill the entire Uruk-hai army.
I always love in that film. Where do the horses come from?
It's right down a hill. I don't know.
No, but you know the horses that are in. You know when he's like, the sun is rising.
Oh, they just had them inside.
Did they?
Yeah.
All ready to go.
No, where else do they keep them?
I don't know. Just the way they're just kind of hilariously just there, all geared up. Gimli didn't come.
Found some horses.
Gimli got the best job, just blowing the hole.
Yeah.
Battle ends. Turns out the dragon. There's a bit where like Eragon wakes up and he's like, "Where's my dragon?"
And Murtaugh's there.
Murtaugh's there, and he goes, "Some friends can't be replaced." So it's a good job we didn't have to. Yeah. It's like, I've known you for about a minute, dick.
I've met you 12 hours ago.
Yeah, and now we're having banter where I pretend your most loved one's dead.
Yeah.
Oh, you.
Like, a key part of your soul identity.
He's like, look, I saw Grey, where's the woman? And he's like, oh, she rode off, and he's like, oh, don't worry, I'll catch her with my dragon. So all the Varden and that, you never see them again.
Yeah. No, I thought at the time where he's like, where Rachel Weisz, the dragon, thinks in her head like, there's no horse that can outrun a dragon. Jeremy Irons could.
Yeah.
He did frequently.
So it's a good job he's dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you don't see, so, what's his name? Jimin Huso?
Jaimin Honsu.
Okay, thanks. It's just, pretend I never said that.
Jimin.
You never see him again, you never see any of his, all those people they were, fighting to save, they're just alive.
I didn't like that Jaimin Honsu was wearing a sort of flesh-coloured armour piece over his chest.
It was black, wasn't it? It was like a yellow robe with black armour, flesh-coloured armour.
And it just looked weird.
Did look weird.
It sort of unsettling. Like, it just, at a distance, he's topless for this battle. Yeah. Cool.
My theory is he was supposed to be topless and he just turned up out of shape.
He turned up and went, no.
They just kind of sprayed him. just the chest.
Wear this leather.
We spent all the paint budget on Jeremy, so you just have a bit of a chest.
We'll fix it in post.
Yeah. And then they just go off, he meets the woman, she's like, okay, see you later, Eragon. And he's like, maybe I'll see you later. And it's supposed to be quite romantic.
Yeah, she's like, maybe we will.
Yeah, anyway, bye.
Fucking hope not.
Yeah. He goes flying after Lead the Varden, and she goes
well,
off.
you never said that. He's their leader now.
Also, she just goes back to her people, so are they an open rebellion too?
Yeah. Are the people
so why is no one trying to sort them out?
I've got it. Elismera.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Because that's another place.
That's another place. That's for the sequel.
Yeah. When's that coming out?
Ooh.
20.
It's actually been 11 years, hasn't it?
Yes.
10. A decade.
10.
It's coming soon.
Yeah.
Probably get a TV. We'll probably get a Netflix gritty reboot.
We've got a webcomic.
Oh, excellent.
That's all they can afford.
So that's the end of the film.
Yeah. No, there's a stinger.
Oh, there is a stinger.
Where Jeremy Irons, furious. Sorry, Jeremy Irons. John Malkovich.
Earning his paycheck for screen time 1 minute and 20 seconds.
Not even.
Oh, we didn't mention actually in that throne room.
He can't handle the stairs.
Basically, his acting is to say the line and walk down the stairs menacingly. This happens 2 or 3 times. But I think they built the stairs too steep. So if you can ever find a clip of it, his voice breaks as he's coming down the stairs.
It sort of jolts him every time.
And he's really struggling.
So he's going, I suffer without my stone.
Yeah. Accidents do tend to happen. Yeah, and I mean, John Malkovich at some point I think just stopped acting. Yeah. Not in this film, I mean in general.
I remember seeing an interview with him a while ago and he said he's never been good at acting.
I've seen him in some stuff where he's very good.
Yeah, but he says himself he's not very good. He's just unique.
He's got a presence.
He does, yeah. So at the end he's furious about everything. So he grabs his sword and he cuts down that one big curtain in his.
It's a map.
Throat.
It's a giant
map, is it?
Yes, he cuts down the A0 map.
And there's a dragon behind it.
Uh-oh.
Because the whole time.
Yeah.
Maybe that explains why his throne room was so small. He had to fit a dragon in.
Why would you put it behind your map?
For dramatic purposes.
I don't know, if there was someone I didn't want my, friends to see, I wouldn't just hide them behind a curtain.
Yeah, and also, if you wanted to keep your fire-breathing dragon, you wouldn't hide them behind your biggest piece of paper.
Yeah.
It burned down again.
The idea of just Emma, my girlfriend, and a hider from my landlord for some reason, just her having a cigarette behind a poster. Yeah. What's that? Don't worry about it.
And then you leave and go, and cut the curtain. Slice the curtain down.
So that was Eragon. If we tailed off there, it's because I'm ill, I'm tired, and I've spent 2 hours watching that. What to say, really? 90 minutes of a film that tried to cram in, I think, 3 books worth of stuff.
Yeah, it's really weird. It's 3 whole books spread thinly over 90 minutes. That's the only way I can think of.
I mean, if you were confused and hang on a minute, what was that you were talking about earlier and you never heard? It's because we never heard any more about it.
Yeah, that's not by design.
Joss Stone never showed up again.
No. We never got any names or context. We never showed a map. You know how Lord of the Rings has a map of the world.
Well, Lord of the Rings.
Here is the Shire, here is Gondor, here is Mordor.
Well, but in Lord of the Rings, there's great effort to some criticism of it too, where they spend time building the world.
Yeah.
Not necessary.
Yeah. Okay, well, because in Lord of the Rings, it's evil, orcs, good, elves, and men done.
Oh, they do mention elves and dwarves in this.
Never see them.
No.
Presumably they just didn't have the budget for fake ears or little people.
Roy Davis, he was probably...
He was probably in this somewhere.
What had he been doing? He was Harry Potter, I guess. That probably took him a while. And don't know what else he'd be doing.
Just Harry Potter.
He's around Sainsbury's a while ago.
Really?
Yeah, I'll say they're driving around a little.
He's got a little Segway, isn't he?
Yeah, see, I don't know if, like, would that be kind of like, I don't know, ironic?
Huh?
Don't know.
What part of that is ironic?
Just little Warwick Davis on a little scooter.
I don't understand why that would be ironic.
I don't know either. I just think it'd be funny.
Yeah.
Not that little people are funny, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Has he still got his quiz show?
I don't think so. Like that.
Why is he hosting a quiz show?
I don't, because he needs money.
But he's not funny.
No, he's
Or
not.
particularly charismatic. I know Ricky Gervais thinks he's great, but I don't.
That's because Ricky Gervais likes to laugh at midgets. I genuinely think that's the reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we just want Eragon for 16% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Really? What's the best review you can find of Eragon?
I'll see if I can find any like good ones from here on Wikipedia. They're like positive reviews describe the film as fun and the stuff boys' fantasies are made of.
Not my fantasies.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that.
And people praise the performances of Jeremy Irons and Ed Spielers for some reason.
Why?
Jeremy Irons I can sort of understand.
I mean, Ed Spielers. I mean, Jeremy Irons is just Jeremy Irons, so it's kind of like...
Yeah. And only 9-year-olds with no knowledge whatsoever of any of the 6 Star Wars movies would find the film original.
That's true.
That sounds about right. The makers of Eragon should soon be expecting an annoyed phone call from George Lucas.
Please, please, please. I know it's a bit impromptu. Basically, during the week, 50 Shades Darker came out this week, or last week, and I was curious. I read the plot synopsis. It is perhaps...
It's the most confusing thing.
It's amazing.
Like,
Whoever wrote it on Wikipedia, I think, made it more complicated sounding than it actually is.
I don't know if they did. I think
Please find it. Please just find an excerpt of it.
I think they would have tried to simplify it. Hang on. 50 Shades Darker.
I don't know who's going to see this film.
Women.
Didn't you see all the
Women.
weird kinky stuff from the first one?
Yeah, women are going to see it.
Why?
Because if they find
But I read this plot synopsis. There doesn't appear to be anything steamy about it. It's all about
yeah, there's sort of
child abuse and
there's a weird intrigue, isn't there?
something about a helicopter and
I want to find
divorce
the
papers.
bit that really made me laugh was like suddenly Christian steps out of
Well,
behind
you
the
know,
wall.
it's kind of like when someone has a semi sort of like detached plot synopsis of a film.
Yeah.
And then it randomly sort of like suddenly
Okay.
start going into detail of scenes.
Yeah, like this one, slap bang in the middle. In the ensuing days, Christian has an out-of-town business trip. While piloting it in his own helicopter, the helicopter suffers an engine breakdown, which causes Christian to ditch in a forest. Anna and Christian's family wait for more news regarding Christian. When Christian unexpectedly arrives, Anna is overwhelmed to see him safe. Unexpectedly arrives. Anna then realises the extent of her affection for Christian, and she accepts his marriage proposal. Cool.
Read the bit about the party.
Oh, where's that?
The best that I can tell, this film has...
Is the bit where Anna angrily throws her drink
Is there
at
any sort of
Elena?
mention of sex or anything in this? Because that's why you're all going to see it. People who are listening. If you are going to see this, it's for the fucking, not for the
I don't think
great
so.
literary story.
I don't think there is. No, there isn't.
No?
No.
What happened at the party?
Which part? The birthday party?
No, you know the bit where it's like they restrain him and...
Oh, I can't remember.
It's towards the end. There was this great paragraph.
Christian over his. Christian then cuts all ties to Elena. Later he proposed to Anna with a ring at the boathouse.
Excellent.
Well, things like Anna and Christian go to her apartment to retrieve her belongings. There, Layla appears and threatens her with a gun. When she shoots a wall behind Anna, Christian and Taylor appear and Christian subdues Layla.
Why is everyone appearing?
Just steps out from behind like a
They're
curtain.
all from the Jeremy Irons school, where you just appear out
No!
of nowhere. It's amazing. There's a paragraph later on where it's just like, what the fuck is happening? Where it's like, and then Marsha stepped in and stopped her and slapped her.
Yeah, I found Christian, who does not want to lose Anna, drops down to his knees and turns to a submissive. When she manages... Who's she?
I didn't know.
When she manages to bring him back, they kiss and have sex. During that night, Anna hears Christian having a nightmare and she wakes him. He asks her to marry him and she says she needs time to consider this.
Can I borrow hats?
Yes. Oh, gosh. We wanted to watch that.
Right, okay. At Christian's birthday party, Anna is surprised to see Eleanor there. When they announce their engagement, Eleanor becomes furious and calls Anna a gold digger. Anna angrily throws her a drink at Eleanor and tells her to stop interfering in their relationship. Christian overhears the conversation and dismissively tells Eleanor that she taught him not how to love.
What?
Grace overhears that conversation, slaps Eleanor and orders her to leave the house. Christian then cuts all ties with Eleanor. Later, he proposes to Anna with a ring at the boathouse.
At the boathouse. Yeah, it's sort of...
As the fireworks erupt in the sky, Jack watches the festivities from afar. Excellent.
Who's Jack?
I don't know. Read the...
It sort of sounds like an episode of, like, The Only Way is Essex.
It does.
It's just like hair pulling.
I think there's more happening in this than any of those shows.
Yeah.
Wait, the next one's 50 Shades Freed.
Yeah, and then there's also the one that's 50 Shades from the guy's perspective.
Christian and Anna are now married. However, Anna's life is threatened when her former boss, Jack Hyde, swears revenge for being fired from SIP.
What?
So, where's the intrigue in this? Like, I mean, I thought everyone was going to go see it for the S&M stuff, and you've got all this kind of, like, work politics and HR stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, 'cause that's why people went to see the first one, right?
I'm gonna just... If you could just, like, kill time while I bring something up quickly.
Have you ever read any of the book of 50 Shades?
Why would I read it?
I don't know, because it was there. Because it was, like, in the room. That's why I read a bit of that second book.
Right.
Because I do remember reading something about a helicopter.
Right.
I think it goes on for a bit longer in the book.
This is from the book. After a long honeymoon in Europe, Anastasia, Anna Steele, and Christian Grey return to Seattle, where Christian admits he is upset that Anna has kept her maiden name.
Right. No.
After some resistance, Anna yields when she finds out how important taking his name is to Christian. Christian gives Seattle Independent Publishing as a late wedding present to Anna.
What?
He plans to republish it. Hang on a minute, I'm just going to skip ahead. The next 2 mornings, Anna and Christian barely speak out of anger. Christian becomes because of the unplanned pregnancy, and Anna because of his late night visit with Mrs. Lincoln.
Who?
Oh, here we go. While at work, Anna receives an email from Christian stating he will be in Portland on business for a few days when she's called by Jack Hyde. He has kidnapped Mia Gray and wants $5 million in 2 hours. He warns her not to tell anyone.
What?
This is rubbish.
Why?
And this is bad too.
Why are they having sex?
I don't know. At the end, Anna and Christian are getting ready to celebrate Teddy's second birthday with her. So they just...
Who's Teddy?
It's HR, it's family, and it's work politics, and there's like promotion and kind of...
And some light blackmail.
And some light S&M, I guess,
Yeah.
in there somewhere as well. So, sounds great.
Yeah.
I won't be reading it.
10 out of 10 would see again.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, Mark. Saving Grace, then, of Eragon. What have you got?
I enjoyed Jeremy Irons.
Yeah, I did.
I did. He was obviously phoning it in, but he was like...
Rachel Weisz was the worst for phoning it in.
I'd say her lines took less than a day for sure.
I think they kind of had, in a day, they probably were like, right, get John in, John Malkovich.
Yeah. Well,
we
not-
can have him done by the afternoon,
Yeah.
once we've set up all the lighting and stuff. Then we'll get Rachel in.
We've got to draw a map. Get a kid to do it.
We'll have Rachel done by lunchtime, and then we'll go home early.
Yeah, and then it's
Then we'll release it tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll start designing that evil castle. We'll be done by 9ish.
Yeah. I think we've got some cereal boxes out in the kitchen as it is, so we'll just hollow a few of those out.
Yeah, so see you at the premiere.
Special effects weren't bad.
They weren't actually. On the dragon, the dragon was pretty good effects wise. Definitely for 2006.
Saving Grace, Jeremy Irons. I mean, it's a bad film.
I mean, Fatal Flaw.
Fatal Flaw, the rest of it.
Yeah.
The writing. It's got to be the writing.
Yeah, just the sheer amount of information and names that is thrown at you.
Yeah.
And not given any time to settle or or mesh with itself in any way. There is no context for anything. How long have we been going?
We've been going for nearly 80 minutes, so if anyone's actually listened... I mean, we had 40 views on our last one, so...
That's good.
Yeah, I think I looked on it about 10 times. So that's down to about 30, but we'll see. Next time, I mean, I'd really like to do London Has Fallen.
That would be good. No, but I enjoyed that.
No, but I did too, but there's a lot to say about London Has Fallen.
That is true, actually.
There's a lot to say about that.
We'll do London Has Fallen.
What to say about that? All I could say is, fuck Hedistan.
Yeah. I'm trying to say the other
I
stuff
like
he
the bit where he
says.
just says, "When are you going to come out the closet?" to the president because he walks out of a closet.
Just get some homophobia in there.
Yeah, hit all the bases.
Because we're men.
Xenophobia, homophobia. Yeah.
No,
All right, then.
also, you've got the bit was like, fuck Hedistan or wherever.
Oh, that's amazing, isn't it?
Or wherever you come from.
Oh, wherever you come
fuck
from.
Hedistan as possible.
You dirty Muslims, get out.
Jesus.
That's what they may as well be saying. That does not respect my views.
Does not reflect the views.
Don't go linking me to Donald Trump and all that. I don't support the ban.
Yeah. So
I signed the petition, did you?
I did actually, yeah.
Yeah, it got rejected. Waste of time.
Yeah. Never again.
Yeah.
But so would you recommend Eragon to people as like a bad fun movie?
I don't know, because it does veer into boring.
Yeah, it does veer into boring.
There's very few bits where I laugh at how funny, but if you actually deconstruct it, it's appalling.
Yeah.
It's really bad
and
filmmaking.
we were sort of just cracking some jokes at it, but they were quite basic, really.
It's not in the same vein as something like...
it's not The Room, it's not Troll.
Fatal Deviation.
It's not Fatal Deviation, it's not Parole Violators.
It's not, no.
But
if you get a chance, you could probably pick it up from your local pound store, 99p store.
Pick it up from your local torrent site today.
I'm sure it'll appear on YouTube and no one will care, so probably get it off there. Okay, right, we'll be back soon, hopefully. We'll plan to do another one of these where I'm fit and well again.
I think we've done about 4, and this is the second time you've been ill.
I know. I blame you.
Well, it must be me. Fit as a fiddle, me.
Yeah, well, we'll see. What could I say? Make sure you check out some of our, I wanted to call them sponsors, they're not. Follow us on Twitter, the Bristol Bad Film Club, Crap Movies Club. Go and check out Neil Breen's Twitter, it's wonderful.
Go watch some of his films.
Check out our Twitter, please. Follow that. I think we're...
Tell a friend.
Please! 24 followers now, so that's pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm happy with that.
Rome wasn't built in a day.
What was our Twitter handle called? At Cinema Circus, yeah?
Yep, at Cinema Circus, yeah, without an H.
Or you can find Cinema Circus on Facebook and like that Facebook page.
Yeah.
You'll be in good company. My nan's there. My mum. Mark.
Yeah. Our friends who want to be on the podcast, but just doesn't seem
some
to be
people
happening.
who sort of just did it as a favour are there, so you'll be in good company, and hopefully we'll see you again soon.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.